Hello and welcome, students. This is a quick reference to the letters of the English alphabet with the vowels, consonants, phonic sounds, and spelling rules. Though it is not a complete phonic sounds course, but a bird's eye view of phonic sounds and detailed spelling rules with certain observations are also shared in this. Let's begin. The basic letters of the alphabet, there are 26 letters of the alphabet with A, E, I, O, U letters which are known as vowels. The remaining letters, that is B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, T, V, W, X, Y, Z as consonants. Now, these five letters, please remember that these letters are known as vowel letters and consonant letters. But when you come to sounds, there are as many as 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds, which are used for spoken English. The spoken English and the letters in writing, there is little coordination which we are going to observe in this lesson. This is a slide for a quick reference to Jolly Phonics. Jolly Phonics is a scheme of learning phonic sounds which is used for basic learning. For example, that is the letters are grouped up in certain sets. You can have a look at it. T, E, P, N. This is called a kicking ka. E, H, R, M, D, G, O, A, L, F, B. And these are combinations. I'm not going into the details, so you can pause the video and have a look at it, and then we proceed further. Now let us talk about, we just looked at the graphemes. Graphemes are the written letters. This we are looking at the phonemes. Phonemes are the phonic sounds. Now we are looking at as many as 44 phonic sounds, and I'll just do a one or two before you. For example, B as in big or rubber. You can see that single letters and double letters have got a stress, and it is used only in spoken. You may pause the video, observe the chart, and then proceed further. It's a ready reckoner for you to check your vowels and your spellings. This is a spelling code list. The alphabetic code over here is quite handy for you to know certain breakup. For example, in this column, the sounds are used. Sounds, if I were to tell you, you should refer IPA, that is International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA. The phonic sounds are listed in the first column, and the remaining remaining columns, certain spelling blends or certain group of letters which give that sound are grouped for you, and under those letters certain words are given for reference. I'll just do a few words so that you can refer, and then you may pause the video and observe this chart carefully for a better understanding. For example, the S sound is in snake, and then CE combination also gives that sound. SE combination gives that sound. CE combination, then CY combination, double S combination, SC, and S with the T consonant blend gives that sound S, and PS combination also gives that sound. You may have a look at that. For example, apple alone gives a sound. T as in softer, double T and ED giving that T sound. E is given by I, the letter, written letter I and the written letter Y. In this column, we are looking at the written group of letters, and in this, the first column, we are looking at the sound it produces. N, double N, K, N. When we look at silent letters, you will definitely get an idea about these combinations. But have a look at how these words are used in spellings. K, this K gives a kicking K sound, and C gives us the soft sound, kit and cat. CK combination after a vowel, and CH combination giving a different new sound, QU and QUE all giving K sound. A, A, I, wa, r, m sound. Then we look at the second part of the alphabetic code, here the sound and the letters D, G, O, A. Have a look at this OUGH and OU, O, A. They all give a sound. L and double L, L E I L, A L E L. These are the end syllables. The small dash will show you that the root word or the syllable, there's another syllable that can add to it, and these are all L end combinations. F double F, PH also gives fur sound as in paragraph, tough, laugh, double B and BU, J as in jerk, and then GE combination also giving J sound as in cabbage, and G, then G as in giraffe, then GY and DGE also giving J sound. Y, then AI combination AIA, then AE written together. A dash E means that you have a consonant, then a vowel, then another consonant, then again vowel. For example, TAKE, TAKE take, so that AE combination, that gives A sound. Then W, W, O, and then I sound. You may pause this and have a look at it for a better understanding. This is again a quick checklist for you to have a look at. The letters I have just gone through it. You may pause the video and you may have a glance at the combinations which are given over here to get a better understanding. Proceeding further, over here we have certain beginning digraphs. Now digraphs are those which combine the letters combine to give a new sound. For example, C and H loses its original sound and gives a new sound as in ch. S and H combine to give the sound sh, the, w, f, ko, n, r. Remember the TH gives two different sounds, the and the. Then we have digraphs. Digraphs over here you can see that ch, ch, the, eng. These are end digraphs. M, B, where certain silent letters or combinations we'll learn later. Double S, ch, ch. Digraphs, a combination of two letters that make one sound. Sh, the, ch, w. These are the end syllables. You can see the dash over there. Lunch, earth, fish, black. Blends. Group of two or three consonants in words that makes a distinct consonant sound. We call them blends. BL, blur, blur, blue, flower, clock, glue, plain. These are again blends. BR, CR, DR, FR, GR, PR, TR, SK, SL. You may have a look at them, pause the video and get an understanding of spelling constructions. Ending blends, we have just seen one or two earlier. These are quite a few more for your reference. You may pause the video and have a look at the combinations which are end syllables. The ending blends. Now let us look at certain silent letters in English. The letter B, when it is before, when it is after M, B is silent. For example, this word will be pronounced as bomb, not bomb, bomb. Climb, comb, crumb, debt, doubt, dumb, lamb, limb, numb, plumber, plumber, not plumber, plumber. Subtle, thumb, scum. Silent T, as in butcher, castle, Christmas, fasten, hustle, listen, match, mortgage, nestle, Nestle, often, rustle, witch, soften, watch. Then silent H, ghost, honest, R, mechanic, rhythm, scheme, school, what, when, where, whether, while, white, why. Silent K, you can see when N is after it. This is an observation that when K and N comes together, you will have the K as a silent K. So it is pronounced as knee, new, knickers, knife, night, knit, knitting, knob, knock, not, no, knowledge, knuckle, knack. Silent W. Answer, sword, to, hole, rack, wrap, wrist, wrinkle, wreck, wren, wrench, bristle, wrestle, writing, wriggle. Another set is with the silent G as in sign, campaign, champagne, cologne, norm, design, resign, foreigner, align, assign. Silent U as in guard, biscuit, walk, building, rock, tongue, guilty, guitar, guess, guest. Silent C as in conscience, conscious, crescent, descent, descent, disciple, fascinate, fluorescent, muscle. Silent L. You must have heard of people pronouncing this L, but it is silent. Almond, talk, calf, calm, chalk, walk, fork, half, palm, salmon. Silent P as in coo, cupboard, pneumonia, pseudo, psychiatrist, psychiat, psychic, psychology, psychotherapy, psychotic, raspberry. Silent E, it is also known as a magic E. It is usually placed at the end of the spelling verse, but it is not sounded as in H, breath, breathe, bridge, change, clothes, gene, hate. Silent D, badge, it is a part of this combination. Edge, handsome, handsome, hedge, sandwich, wedge, Wednesday. Silent A, artistically, logically, musically, physically, critically. Silent N, you can see it is at the end and it is after M. So it is a silent M. Autumn, column, dam, hymn. Silent L, isle, island. Silent K, you can see that it is after, soon after K you can see N, so you can say that when K and N they are placed together, K is silent. Knack, need, knee, kneel, knee, new. R, you can see H where it is placed, R. Architect, chaos, character, chemical, chemist, echo, ghost, monarch, scheme, school, stomach. Technical, B. I have already pronounced these words: bomb, climb, comb, dead. You may pause the video and try reading it yourself. Biscuit, build, circuit, disguise, align, campaign, design, foreign, malign, rain, sign, assign, gnarled, gnash, gnat, gnaw, norm, wrangle, wrap, read, wreck, wrench, wrestle, wriggle, bring. You may pause the video and try reading it yourself. Now let us come to the spelling rules. Kindly make a note of it. Few are observations and few are standard spelling rules. Q is always followed by U. In the dictionary, you will never find QA, QB, QC. The word Q, U, they always come together and the dictionary words begins with that. Queen, quilt, quarter, etc. Rule number 2 is C before E, I or Y. That is, you will see that usually C is an E. C is always before E. I or Y says S sound. For example, send, city, and cycle. Over here, the C is giving the S sound as in S, city, S sound as in S, as if you assume to be an S, or cycle as assumed to be an S. But originally, we know the sound of C is K sound. But over here, when these combinations are present, that is E, I, and Y, then C will give S sound. Rule number 3 is G before E, I, or Y says J sound. We know that originally G gives the sound G as in gate, and J gives the J sound as in jug. But over here, when G, E, or GI or GY are placed, the sound of G changes to J, as in gem, giant, and gym. Rule number 4 is A, E, O, and U usually say their names at the end of a syllable. Syllable means the part where you can break the word and it will have its own set of vowel, its own vowel. But when these letters are produced, sounded, the A, E, O, and U letters, they sound as if the name of the letter is being said. For example, baby. So is sounded as its name. B. Music. So is sounded clearly. This is an observation as per rule number 5 is I and Y sometimes say I. Like for example, silent. Ma E. So that E sound it is given by I and Y. This is also an observation. Rule number 6 is that Y, not I, is used at the end of English words. As such, you will never find the words ending with I as such. So it is my, try, or supply. When you hear the sound of I at the end, it is usually the letter Y. Now, this is not a rule but a set of certain tasks or observations that you may have a look at it. For the 5 tasks that silent E plays in certain spelling rules. One is that vowel, consonant, vowel. You can see I is a vowel, M is a consonant, and I is a vowel. So over here, when this combination is placed, E is just placed at the end to give this spelling. So time. Another role played by the letter E, English words don't end with V or U. So whenever you have the word HAV, E is placed with it. When this spelling was constructed, This is how it was constructed. Blue. Okay, now G gives J sound and C gives S sound. For example, change when G sound, G sound is there and E is placed at the end over there when it is giving a different sound, and C when it is end, C sound changes over here, even E is placed over there, so it is chance, that is S sound. Every syllable must have a vowel. For example, when you break the word into syllables, we mean syllable only when you separate a part of a word having its own vowel. For example, little. In certain spellings where E ends, whether you find E at the end of spellings, there is no such function, but it is just a part of that spelling or the word as coined. Next rule is that or may say ER when it follows W. For example, certain words, if you search on in your dictionary or on the Google, you will find certain words, say for example, having the end part W, and when you add OR to it, it sounds like ER. That search you may do independently on your own. The second part of this is has got nothing to do with the upper part, because that was to do with the spelling, construction, and pronunciation. This is something different where five spellings of ending with ER and giving the sound ER. For example, her, first, nurse, work, early. The sound of this letter combination is giving the same sound, that is a sound. You may explore more such combinations and try pronouncing it yourself. Words with a syllable vowel followed by a consonant must double itself. A simple way to remember this rule is that if you have a word with a consonant, vowel, consonant, the last consonant will double up when you want to add ing to it. For example, hop, hopping, hopping. How do you remember this rule? Remember that when there is a vowel and then a consonant, the consonant will double up when ing and inflection is added to it. Rule number 10 is that words with two syllables, for example, when you can break it into two parts, the syllable, the vowel, the first part will have a vowel, the second part will have a vowel, and when your stress is on the second part, then the last letter will double up. Let us read the rule. Words with two syllables. Now you have broken down into two syllables, where the accent is on the second. Begin. So my stress is on the second part. So what happens? The consonant must double the last letter. What is the last letter? N. So the N is going to double up when the inflection ing is added. Ing is called an inflection in English grammar. Rule number 11, drop the final silent final E before adding an ending that begins with a vowel. Now you can see that LOVE, this is a silent E. Now you're adding an inflection ing. When you're adding an inflection ing, you may drop the silent E and then add ing. And that example is listed over here. Make, drop E and then add ing, because when ing is coming with its own vowel. So you have to drop that E and then add ing to it. Rule number 12, I before E except after C or when saying E. That means this is standard spelling rule. You may search for this spelling rule also. You have seen one example over here. It is usually IE that goes as a standard in English spell. But when you see that the previous letter part ends with a C, in that case, this IE will change to EI. EI. That is shown over here. Now let us read the rule. I before E except after C. When it's the C, it's C. So that's why it has changed. So it's in field, received, will. Rule number 13, sure is used at the beginning or at the end or base word at the end of a syllable, but never at the beginning of a syllable after the first. A better way to remember this is that sure sound is in the beginning of a word, sure sound is at the end of the word. And it is only one word where you have the compound word friendship, where the second part will begin with sure sound. This is what is observation. Rule number 14 is TI, SI, and CI say show at the beginning of a second or subsequent syllable. This is where you are constructing a word where the state of being shun, you can see that the sound is similar but the construction is different. How do you remember this? Ti, Si, and Ci, they gives the sound show in the second part of the syllable. So Tion also is giving shun sound, Sion is also giving shun sound, and the third group is Ci, is also giving show sound. Facial. Rule number 15, Si says show when the syllable before it ends in S. Now the first part, if the first syllable, if it is ending in S, even then the second part will give show sound. So Sion, shun. Over here, tense, tension. Si may also say je sound, je, as in vision, television, je sound. When you look at the IPA International Phonetic Alphabet, you will have this phonetic transcription which is placed in these two parts as a small z in the lowercase that will giving the or vision, je sound. So SI combination over here is giving je sound, vision. Rule number 17 is double L, F, and S when following a single vowel at the end of a one syllable word. Please read it as one syllable word. This is one syllable, will, of, miss. So the last letter has got double the L, double F, double S. This is simply to remember the spellings. Use AY to say A at the end of a word. AY is giving the sound, the combination is giving the sound A. This will help you to remember spellings. I and O say I and O when followed by two consonants. Now two consonant, N is a consonant, D is a consonant. So I will give the sound fi, find. It will not never give its original sound, that is E. And O will not give its original sound as O as in dog. It will give the sound O as in old. Why? Because it is succeeded by two consonants. Rule number 20 is S never follows X. EXIT. You will never follow X and then S placed next to it. Rule number 21, drop an L after A in ALL when written with another syllable. For example, almost. It will never take ALLMOST. It is the way the spelling is constructed. ALMOST is one word. ALWAYS is one word. So it is never ALLWAYS. This is the way the spelling is constructed or coined. Rule number 22 is drop an L in till and full when written with another syllable. This is a very common error. Um, when you write the word careful, beautiful, the last L is supposed to be dropped. You can see beautiful here. It is ending with a single L. Rule number 23 is DGE is only used after a single syllable. This combination we have seen earlier when we were looking at sounds. This is used only after a single, it is used after a single vowel. For example, batch, it's a vowel. H, A is a vowel. Bridge, I is a vowel. Lot, O is a vowel. Fudge, is a vowel. This is again by observation, you can learn your spellings. Rule number 24 is change Y to I before adding an ending except ing inflections. So if you're changing to say plural or past tense, you may change baby to Y to I and then add es. This is the rule for plurals. And try, try, change that Y to I and then add ed, tried for changing the tense. But when you're adding ing to certain words like try, then this rule will not apply. Rule number 25 is CK is only used after a single vowel. Back, A is a vowel. Neck, E is a vowel. Pick, I is a vowel. Lock, O is a vowel. And duck, U is a vowel. This CK combination will come only when there's a vowel preceding it. Rule number 26. Names or titles of people, places, books, days, or months are capitalized. This is a punctuation rule. J, C, K, B, A, and W is capitalized over here. Rule number 27 is words beginning with the sound Z are always spelled with Z, never S. This is again to do with the sounds and spellings. For example, the word zoo, you have to write with Z sound, that is Z. Rule number 28, ed, that is past tense, has three sounds and is used to form the past tense of verbs. Now, this is more to do with the speaking, that is pronunciation, than spelling. Over here, you can see that words ending with P, a word ending with K, like pick, P-I-C-K, pick. If ed is added to it, that ed is not sounded as picked. It is sounded with a T ending, that is picked. And if a word ends with the, say for example, P sound like jump, it will not be pronounced as jumped. It will be pronounced as jumped, T sound. And that is how it is written over here: parted, laughed, jumped. I did not pronounce it as D sound, I pronounced it as T sound. Rule number 29 is divide words into syllables between double consonants. This will help. It's quite handy when you are abbreviating or creating your own short forms. Little, you should know where to break the word. It is only with the separation of that the syllable should have its own vowel in it. Little, allow, account. Do not break it at any other point. With this, we come to an end of this lesson. I hope it's quite helpful. It's a ready reckoner for you to know. And if you like the lesson, kindly hit like and share and subscribe. Thank you so much.